It's a Tuesday. We appreciate you tuning in. Hello, baby. How you doing?
Hello, darling. Super. How are you?
Always good. Sitting here with you. I mean, how can it get better?
Yeah.
Well, unless I missed something in the news, I think we've gone over a week now since anybody jumped the fence at the White House.
Oh, that's
I think it's been over a week, so we should mark that down. I think they should electrify the fence, a few thousand volts, but
I think that would be
not
be
plugged
sense.
into a regular outlet. What they should do is they should hook it up to a generator that's hooked up. I don't know what that was. Was that your computer?
Sorry, yes, it was.
Okay. They should hook. I thought maybe this was somebody chiming in to let me know that I'm onto something here. They should hook it up to a generator that's hooked up to an exercise bike pedaled by Joe Biden. Give the guy something to do. I'm just saying.
Okay.
He can just pedal.
Yeah, that was
protecting the fence.
That was pretty lame.
Was it worth the wait? You hung in there for a while. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This segment of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy an RV, check it out. And if you want to sell an RV, check it out. Helping connect buyers and sellers at RVWheelator.com.
Thank you for listening on a Tuesday. Video website YouTube celebrated their 10th anniversary. Did you see the video of the very first YouTube video that was put up 10 years ago? It was on the news the other day. It was one of the founders of YouTube at the zoo. So it almost became ZooTube, I think. But it was YouTube. I don't know. I made that part up.
Yeah,
but that would have been funny. No, they were hanging out at the zoo and they were like, hey, let's make a video. And I think we need to share this with everyone in the world. I think YouTube, it amazes me. It's only been around.
YouTube's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it amazes me. It's only been around 10 years. What did we do before that? I mean, we've seen videos online before that, didn't we? Or has it literally only been... That's amazing.
I couldn't tell you.
I do have a good joke for you for YouTube, though, so I'm going to get to that in a moment. Right now I'm buffering. Almost ready. Buffering. I think I just need a faster internet connection. That is my only problem with YouTube, is you'll be watching a video and
it stops. Yeah.
And I know...
And I don't know if that's YouTube's fault or if that's just the internet.
We really shouldn't be complaining when you think about it. They're streaming video all over the world in a matter of seconds, and we're inconvenienced by a fraction of a second that it buffered. Like, yeah, I could do better. Sure you could. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by WinThisOnline.com. If you have stuff you'd like to give away, do it for free. Check out the website WinThisOnline.com. It's also free to win stuff. Register today for your free account at WinThisOnline.com.
Thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. Beijing, China. Got a story here. Authorities say that it will halt the hiring of strippers at funerals.
What?
Yeah. Chinese authorities say they will no longer let you hire strippers at funerals.
What would be the reason you would want a stripper at your funeral?
Let me move on here. The Ministry of Culture pledged a crackdown on performances by funeral strippers.
Wow.
Which have become increasingly popular in China. China's official news agency said striptease performances are often organized at funerals to draw a larger crowd for the funeral.
Wow.
So that's a different thing.
I wonder what everybody thought of the first person who did that.
I don't know. I'm just thinking,
they had to have been thinking, wow, that's distasteful. But then when they saw the crowd, they're like,
hey, wow, there's a lot of...
Dad's been kind of sick.
How you feeling, Dad? You doing all right? I really think we should start pre-planning your funeral. Do you like, we got Muffy over here.
I can tell you what my dad would be asking for.
Yeah, I know exactly what. Hey, maybe we can ask him next hour. We've got Tuesdays with Charlie an hour from now. Another quick thing, really quick here. In Australia, during a horse race on live TV, a jockey, that's the guy that rides the horse, he was riding the horse and his pants fell down, exposing his assets, we'll say. So his rear end.
That's too bad. That's embarrassing.
His jockey, he apparently needed...
The Kentucky Derby, is that going on now or is that over?
I have no idea. This was in Australia.
I think the Kentucky Derby is going on now.
Is it now or is it soon or when is it?
I don't know.
We are not horse race people, clearly. Although we did buy some hats a few years ago. We were going to have a horse race event. Somebody has to let us know. If you know when that stuff is,
I think it's like now.
We're not cultured people, so we don't know any of this kind of stuff. We were going to have stick horse races, weren't we?
Yeah, in the parking lot. And then I bought all these fancy hats for the ladies to wear. And yeah, it's going to be a blast.
We have problems. Thank you so much for listening. You're tuned in to the John and Heidi Show. I'm still trying to get used to that. For years, we've called this the Breakfast Club with John and Heidi. and we're getting rid of that name, and we're going with the John and Heidi Show, how many times do you think I'll mess that up?
Oh, we'll do that for a very long time.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So thanks for tuning in to the John and Heidi Show. She keeps trying to convince me it should be the Heidi and John Show. That just doesn't sound the same. Maybe it sounds better. But thanks for listening on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program brought to you by DirecTV. Sign up today at 1-800-259-7646. That's 1-800-259-7646.
It is a Tuesday. We have Tuesdays with Charlie coming up at the end of this hour. I'm excited for that. Always fun to chat with your papa.
Always awesome to talk to my dad.
It's darn good. Hey, there's another Fast and Furious sequel coming out in 2017, Fast and Furious 8. Now, I know
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. I've been a little hard on the Fast and Furious franchise because personally, that's not my cup of tea. That's not my thing. I'm just not into that. Doesn't mean that anybody else should not be into that. You go to them. If you like it, go to them. It's a $1 billion franchise. Everybody's going to see these cars drive fast. I don't get it. If somebody can explain to me why I should like Fast and Furious, please call. I'd love to. I mean, seriously, I'd love to know.
Call me.
Coming up in a moment, we have your scoop of the day. We're going to be talking about the doc. We're going to be talking about another doc, and we're going to be talking about medical mistakes. So it's a very medical edition. I don't know if medical's the right word for a bunch of kooky doctors, but we're gonna be talking about doctors coming up in a bit on the Scoop of the Day, and that's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by We Need Sponsors.
Hey, wait a minute. All right, I'll let you finish.
If my husband would go out and sell some advertising, I would have something to read here. Again, this portion of the program is brought to you by We Need Some Freaking Sponsors.
Time now for the scoop of the day. We're going to start out right here. We talked about this. An Italian surgeon is planning to transplant a human head onto another body. We've talked about this, haven't we?
Yes.
He says that the entire procedure will take how long, Heidi?
I have no idea.
Just guess. How long are you supposed to take to stick a head on somebody else's body?
I don't know. 12 hours.
1 hour or less.
Because they would have to connect all of the...
It's like lens crafters.
No, there's no way. First of all, I don't even know how this is even possible because of the spinal cord. I mean, how would you connect somebody else's spinal cord to someone else's spinal cord?
No idea.
And then connect all of the veins and the...
This dude in Italy figured it out.
No way.
He's going to do it in an hour or less. It's head crafters, kind of like lens crafters.
No way.
Anyway, according to this guy, he says a head transplant could be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 or less.
Whatever. Oh my God.
This is what he's saying. He may be a kook. This may just be a ploy to get some exposure for this doctor. I have no idea. If you were going to do it, would you rather have a new body or a new head? Because I'm looking at my body going, I'd go for a different body.
Well, you'd love to have a new body, but no matter how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that your memories will come with... I mean, how the heck?
I don't know. Shouldn't they really be calling this a body transplant then? Really, if you think about it.
Because
like if I cut my foot off and they put a new foot on, they would call it a foot transplant because I am getting a new foot. But if it's my head going on a different body, why is that a head transplant? That doesn't make sense to me. All right. In other medical news...
I don't think that's possible. I don't think it's possible.
I'm not condoning it. I'm not endorsing it. I am just merely reading the news like a good journalist does, Heidi.
Like a good journalist
I'm not saying that I am a good journalist, but that's what they do.
All right.
In a hospital study, most medical mistakes happen on which day of the week? If you're going to guess.
Friday.
Wrong. Mondays.
Oh.
Come in, they had a little too much to drink on the weekend, having a little bit of a hangover. They're like, oh, wow, wait a minute. Did I just sew your left foot on your right? Oh, no.
Did I just give you a head transplant?
Well, the good news is we can send you to Italy and they can fix that in an hour or less at Headcrafters. All right, over here. Are you following the fuss about Dr. Oz? Have you seen this in the news? People are freaking out.
I heard something was going on with him, but I haven't cared enough to check into it.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm not a fan. I don't watch the show. It's not that I don't like him. I got nothing against Dr. Oz, but they're saying that the advice that he's giving on his TV show is useless. That's what experts are saying. His advice is useless. Now, don't confuse Dr. Oz with Dr. Phil. Dr. Oz is a qualified surgeon. He's a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine. Absolutely true. Now, Dr. Phil, on the other side, he's a huckster. He's a graduate of the National Institute of Trickery and Baldness. Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, two completely different people. Now, Dr. Phil's been around way longer. There's not people busting his chops. You know why they're...
But he's not giving medical advice, babe. He's giving just advice, like Dr. Laura.
Dr. Oz responds...
And if I want to do that, I could call myself Dr. Heidi and just start doling out advice to people.
Would you wear a naughty nurse outfit?
Sure, I suppose.
Dr. Oz has responded to his critics saying, my television show is not a medical program. He's like, this is not a medical program. I'm a doctor on TV, but I'm not performing surgeries.
Right.
He's just talking about things, giving people a little insight into the health benefits of different things. But his show is not a medical program. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
And it's like Dancing with the Stars is not a dancing program, or American Idol is not a singing program, or The Kardashians not a show about idiots, or whatever they do. I don't even know what do they do.
I've never watched it.
Whatever it is. Well, I wanted to bring that up because Khloe Kardashian has announced she's now writing a book. I am not making this up. This is 100% true. A book of advice for young women.
Oh, yeah, because she should be giving advice to young women. Wow.
That's a golf clap for Khloe. Because, I'm sure every mom and dad out there in America with a young child is saying... You
know who I would really love to influence my young daughter?
You really aspire to be more like Khloe. I'm just saying. Why can't you be more like Khloe?
Wow.
All right. And one last thing before we get kicked out of here. A sequel to 50 Shades of Grey is coming out.
Already?
A new movie. Well, yeah. Here's the thing. They don't care if it's good. All they care is they threw it on the screen and people went to it. That's all they care about. They got money. They made money. So they made tons of money. So this next one is called 50 Shades Darker. So 50 Shades of Grey.
That's what the book was called.
Yeah, so they got a new movie coming out. I don't know when it's going to be out, but it's going to cause a ruckus, I'm sure, just like the last one did. I've not seen the other movie.
I have no desire.
If you've gone to it, is it good? Is it bad? I'm assuming that it's probably just about as filthy as the book. It's just not something I'm interested in. But it's going to be coming out. And
did
I know
you read the book?
No, I did not.
Then
you
how
did.
do you know what you're talking
Because
about?
you read the book, and I remember when you were reading the book. I remember vividly when you were reading the book. That's how I know.
What are you complaining about?
I'm just saying. I'm not complaining. I'm saying I remember it. Barely, but I remember it. All right, this has been your very uncomfortable scoop of the day on the Heidi, what is it called again?
The John and Heidi
That's
Show.
It, the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program brought to you by BillionAuto.com. If you're looking to buy a car, they have a bunch of them. Maybe a billion. No guarantees on that. But I will guarantee you'll find a lot of cars at BillionAuto.com.
It is a Tuesday, and you know what that means. That means it's time for my favorite program of the entire week, a time where we pick up the telephone and we call my father-in-law just because we can for a little show we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
Well, I'm doing better than you, apparently.
We almost had to not do Tuesdays with Charlie.
Yeah, we had some operating errors.
I was trying to figure out what the problem was. I even blamed my 13-year-old daughter for a moment there.
That's pretty low.
I know. Well, because she was using these headphones. I'm like, what did she do with these headphones? And then I looked up and saw that it wasn't plugged in. I'm like, oh. Yeah, that would probably be
kind of bad.
Probably be partially.
I may owe her an apology.
Partially my fault. And Taylor, I'm gonna make you some breakfast or something. So, what are we going to learn about this week, Charlie?
I'll whip some stuff on you here then while we're up and running.
Awesome.
Okay, due to a perfect combination of depth, attitude, and temperature, bodies that ground in Lake Tahoe rarely surface or decompose.
Are you kidding me?
Really?
No. So they're just floating around on the bottom.
So if you're going to kill somebody, that's the place to dump them.
You'll never find the body.
No, that's bad.
Write that down in your little book for later on.
What do you want to do? You want to go to Lake Tahoe this summer?
Go for a boat ride.
She slipped out of the boat accidentally. I shouldn't even say stuff like that because then if something ever does happen.
Oh, you're to blame.
Especially if
it's on radio.
If it just so happened that it was, in Lake Tahoe, that would even be worse. That'd be really bad.
Just don't go there. You'll be fine.
There you go.
Hey, did you know that UPS gets 15,000 parking tickets a month in New York?
Oh, my goodness.
I suppose, because they have to do what they have to do to get inside, so...
You just park wherever they want.
There's probably one cop that just follows that brown truck around, just giving them tickets over and over.
You'd have to get that many a month, wouldn't you?
It's a lot of tickets.
Hey, did you know that Sears used to sell entire houses in a do-it-yourself kit?
I did
know that. I've seen it.
I have seen those too. There are some. Every once in a while, you'll see one in a community where it was one of the Sears catalog homes where they bolted them together when they got them there. That's kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Go to Sears and buy a house.
There you go. They send you a kit. You take it home. It's like an erector set. You just screw it together.
Well, it'd never get put up if I was doing it.
Mine would be half done, and then I'd get bored and do something new. What's that? Well, that's going to be our house in like 18 years.
Hey, did you know that more than 6,000 people with pillow-related injuries check into emergency rooms yearly?
That's a lot of people.
Pillow related. What do you do with your pillow?
Well, it must be a lot of pillow fights.
I guess.
Or other things.
There you go. Something's going on with the pillows anyway.
Yeah. Hey, then did you know that a magazine sent a check for 13 cents to a dozen wealthy people, and only 2 cashed them?
Really?
Well, I'm sure.
For 13
13
cents?
One was Khashoggi. He's a Saudi Arabian arms dealer.
Yeah.
And guess who the other one was?
Bill Gates.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Hey, money is money.
If you're walking outside and you see a penny, do you stop, pick it up?
I do.
I usually do.
Every time.
I don't always, but once in a while I do. And it's not
I
because
do.
of the whole good luck thing. It's because I go, 99 more of those, and I can buy myself a Snickers or something.
Well, it'd be a mini Snickers. I think
Yeah.
they're about $1.08 or $1.29.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what? When we were in Vegas, I found a penny every single day
She
on
did.
the ground. Each day.
You know how much she won while we were in Vegas, too?
Nothing.
Zero.
Actually,
Absolutely.
technically, I won 5 cents
Yeah.
because I found a penny.
Look at this. I
every
found another
single
penny.
day.
I'm like, yeah, stay away from those bad luck pennies.
That's 5 cents more than you had when
That's
you got there.
exactly right.
There you go. Both Hitler and Napoleon were missing one testicle.
Really?
Really?
Huh. Hitler, and that's why they were so angry.
Yeah, I would be angry, too.
I'd be angry.
Look down there and there's only one hanging there. What the hell? Hey, then I got one last thing for you here.
Okay.
Did you know that 40% of Australian women have size DD boobs? Or
Double
larger?
D.
Double D.
Double
DD,
Ds.
Double Ds or
Double
larger.
Ds.
Who's
Yep.
that? Where is that in?
Australia.
I'm going there.
Down under?
Down under.
Well, I think it's time to move on to a question. You ready for a question, Charlie?
Whip it on me.
Which?
What am I, 0 for 100?
No, you've gotten a couple of them right. Rob's got a
done
good
all
one.
right.
Rob's got a good one for you here. Which president was elected because he promised to end prohibition in 1932? If that helps. Which I didn't.
He's laughing.
I didn't think it would help. That's why I figured I'd
You
mention.
might as well make it 2050.
Which president was
I'll take
elected?
a stab at it.
Well, even if you get the last name right, and there's 2 of them that had this last name. So see, I'm trying to help
He's
you.
giving you clues, Dad.
2 of them had the same name, huh?
There's a
Oh,
couple.
that's what
last
I was going to say.
Well, who are you going to say?
I don't know 2 of them that had the same. Adams.
No.
Was
There
there
were-
2 Adams?
Yeah, there were.
Adams was our second president. That was
Those-
way before Prohibition.
No, it was. I'll give you another guess. Rhymes with Roosevelt.
Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Hey.
I was going to say that.
I knew you were. That's why I tried to help.
But then
Franklin.
you threw me off.
Well, it was.
Which clue threw you off, Dad? Just out of curiosity.
It was Franklin Roosevelt.
Franklin.
Frank was elected in 1932, largely because he promised, if I get elected, we will end prohibition. So that's kind of cool, isn't
That's
it?
amazing.
Who run against him?
I don't know. Some
cares?
Well,
some
they couldn't have got any votes.
some guy that didn't like beer, apparently, and
What?
just a absolute coincidence, I'm sure. He's the only president who was elected 4 times in a row. Can you believe that?
Yes, I can. Why wouldn't you vote for a guy that got you booed?
Exactly.
He's our booze president.
Right? The other guy shouldn't even have showed up for the election.
Well, Charlie, thank you so much. And Rob, thank you for that question. You win a really nice little prize. I think we're going to hook him up with some tickets to Rod Stewart. How does that
Oh,
sound?
there we go.
I got to pick
That
those
is a
up
nice
today.
prize.
Anytime you stump me, you get a good prize.
There you go. And Charlie, if you get it right, they get a good prize too. Either way.
Which ain't going to happen very often.
Either way, you get us a good question, you get a good prize. If you have a question, send it to sunny@sunnyradio.com. Charlie, thanks for chatting with us again.
We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, you will. We'll be here.
Bye,
Bye,
Dad.
Bob. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there, we talk to him every Tuesday just because we can for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
I use their razors, and I absolutely love them. And if you would like to try some razors and get a little special discount and get me a little extra credit, check out dollarshaveclub.com/BigJohnSmall. I love their razors. I use them all the time.
I've tried to use them. He won't let me touch them.
Yeah, leave my razors alone. Get your own razors. They're dirt cheap. Go check them out. DollarShaveClub.com/BigJohnSmall, and you're going to absolutely love them.
Again, this portion of the program brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club.
Today is a very special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. No, actually, I'm afraid you asked way too soon. I don't know. It's the 28th day of February. It's Kiss Your Mate Day.
Aww.
Get over here, baby. Pucker up.
That's a nice day.
It is. Kiss Your Mate Day today. She's my mate, so I can kiss her. I did not print off all the other stuff, so that's the only one I have today. But I have more that I'll share some other time. Coming up in a bit, we're going to talk about the happiest country in the world. World. What do you think it is?
Well,
happiest country in the world.
Switzerland or something nice like that.
Why would you have guessed Switzerland of all places?
I don't know.
That was it.
Was it?
Yes.
You know why I guessed Switzerland?
Why did you guess Switzerland?
Because they have a very low crime rate,
Yeah.
and they issue weapons to every single one of their citizens. So
Are
I
you
was thinking
serious?
that would be a wonderful place to live.
Well, buckle up, folks. We already told you where, but we're going to tell you why in a bit. That is all on the way. You are listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This segment of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you want to buy an RV, check it out. And if you want to sell an RV, check it out. Helping connect buyers and sellers at RVWheelator.com.
All right, the cat is out of the bag because a moment ago we were talking about this. There's a new study that shows the happiest country on the planet is
Switzerland.
Switzerland. I don't know exactly why. It says here the only Swiss person who's unhappy is probably the guy that's, up there doing the Ricola. That guy. I'm pretty sure he's the only one.
Is that Switzerland?
I don't know.
I don't think.
Where is that guy from?
I don't know.
Everybody else is happy. They're all walking around the country with a big old smile on their
He's
face.
pretty happy.
No, he's got a sore throat. Like
Oh.
I need some Ricola. Where's that? It's not from Switzerland?
I don't know where he's from.
Wherever
I have
that's
no idea.
from. Apply that joke there. Maybe it'll be funny. Probably not. It didn't work here. I can tell you that. Next one's in the list here. In the top 5 happiest countries in the world: Switzerland, Iceland, Denmark, Norway, and then one of these things are not like the others, Canada. What?
Oh.
So that's the top 5: Switzerland, Iceland, Denmark, Norway, and Canada. And that's cool. Canada's not too far from where we live. I can't see it from here, but it's that way. It's north. So I'm glad they're happy. I'm not exactly sure what makes all these people happy, but they're happy. Now, just you got to remember this. Happiness is something that no matter what you do, you can be happy, but that's not going to buy you money. It's not going to work.
The heck are you talking
Because
about?
they always say you can be rich, but money doesn't buy you happiness. I'm saying you can be happy, but that's not going to give you money. So it doesn't work backwards, does it?
Not really, no.
Happiness is important.
Happiness is important, but what if you're sad?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to cry in like a BMW than it is.
Yeah,
Just
special
saying.
one. Special one it's a dispenser for your tear. You pull it out, wipe your tears. No, I don't know where I'm going with that. But some people cause happiness everywhere they go. I try to cheer people up, and it usually works. You do too when we go places. Most of the time, we're cheering people up and making them happy. I can think of a few examples where we weren't, but for the most part, we're pretty darn happy people. So there are some people that just cause happiness wherever they go. There's other people who cause happiness whenever they finally go. So like when they leave, that's when everyone's like,
sometimes.
yay!
I can think of a few of those as well.
All right. Thanks for listening. It is the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by WinThisOnline.com. If you have stuff you'd like to give away, do it for free. Check out the website WinThisOnline.com. It's also free to win stuff. Register today for your free account at WinThisOnline.com.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday. Got a great story here. Deputies say a thief worked for 15 minutes to drag a large cooler full of ice cream past a sleeping clerk at a gas station. I can only imagine. Some dude sleeping at the gas station. He's working, fell asleep, and a thief was like, hey, I'm going to load up on ice cream. So this gigantic cooler filled with ice
Wow.
cream took him 15 minutes to drag it past. The surveillance video shows the man walking up to the store at 4:09 a.m. to find the clerk snoozing. He opened the ice cream cooler, looked at the clerk, looked directly into the camera, flashed his middle finger at the camera.
Oh my
then
gosh.
He carefully and quietly pulled the $2,500 cooler full of ice cream through the store's open doors. The clerk was snoozing nearby. So it took 15 minutes to very quietly slide a full ice cream cooler out the front door.
That takes guts.
Well, it takes something, all right.
I mean, they have his face and everything, so I'm sure he's going to get caught.
Probably. He's going to get caught sitting in his garage eating a bunch of delicious ice cream treats. That's in Oakland Park, Florida. Yeah, you don't do that. It's a bad idea. If you get a hankering for some ice cream, just buy some ice cream. If he would have stolen,
it'd be a lot cheaper than fine he's going to have to pay.
If he would have stolen one ice cream bar, I'm not saying that's okay.
But they probably wouldn't come after him.
Yeah, but you steal $2,500 worth of ice cream and the cooler too.
And the cooler.
I wonder if the dude that was working there got fired. Do you think?
Well, yes, I would hope so. I don't know. We read a story about a guy the other day who rammed a train into a thing on purpose, and he still had his
That
job.
was crazy, yeah. And there was a dude that fell asleep in the cargo hold, and I think eventually he got fired, but he didn't get fired right away.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I was like, wow, if you fell asleep at work, you shouldn't do that. Don't fall asleep at work.
Yeah.
Depending on what the job is, it could be a really bad thing. Some people, not so bad. Other people, that's a really bad thing to fall asleep at work. But let's move on. Thank you so much for tuning in to the John and Heidi Show. I keep forgetting what this thing's called. I'm going to have to make a note and hang it in here. It's the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program brought to you by DirecTV. Sign up today at 1-800-259-7646. That's 1-800-259-7646.
Have you seen the Apple Watch yet? Have you seen anybody wearing one?
No. I haven't even seen pictures of one. I haven't looked one up. I haven't cared.
I've seen them on the old internet screen, and I've seen them on TV when they went available for sale last week. And we go to church with a guy that was wearing, I thought, an Apple Watch. I was like, hey, I love your Apple Watch. And he laughed. He goes, that's not an Apple Watch. He goes, it's just a watch. He pushed a button, and it's got like a digital thing that lights up. And I said, that looks just like an Apple Watch. He goes, I have had like 1,000 people say that in the last week. They're like, oh, wow, you have an Apple Watch?
He should just start saying, yeah.
And he said, it was less than $100. He goes, it's just a watch. It was a nice looking watch, but it doesn't do all of the stuff that the Apple Watch does.
Who cares?
But now the reason I bring them up, we talk about these guys a lot. It seems.
You talk about them a lot.
Well,
It's like you've got a man crush on Apple or something.
No, I don't. I watched that movie, Jobs. That was a good movie. And then ever since then, I never used to pay attention at all to Apple. I mean, at all. Because how many Apple products do I own?
None.
0.
We don't own any.
I owned one for a while.
Like a week, and then you
No, I had it more than that. I had it for like a month.
Yeah,
2
it
months.
sat here, but you didn't use it.
How long did it take?
The second you got it, you were like, well, this sucks. I don't even like this. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I don't think I said this sucks. Here's what I said. I complained from probably a year that I wanted.
You had to have it. You had to have it.
I wanted an
finally
iPad.
Bought it.
And every time Heidi would say, so what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, I don't know. I'd kind of like an iPad. She's like, I don't like you that much. So I'm thinking something more like in the $5 price range. I was like, well.
You have those machines you can put a quarter in. And
anything that you want from this machine here. I'll play it 4 times if I have to get the right one. But anyway, after a year, probably not even exaggerating, it was about a year, of saying that, I don't know, I'd kind of like to get an iPad. I think we could use that for work. And I was trying to come up with practical reasons. I think we could use that here for Sunny. I'd use that in the studio, and I wouldn't be printing all this stuff. And anyway, so she gets me an iPad.
And you hated it.
And it had the internet thing where you could be on the internet wherever you go, and that was extra. And I got it. I couldn't figure it out because it's completely different than everything I know. Then I had people saying, well, you need to get an iPhone. Because if you have an iPad and an iPhone, and then you can get like a MacBook, and then you know how all this stuff works. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm going to just keep using the stuff I know. The program I'm using over here right now is from 1996. I'm not even kidding. This program is the same age as our son, who's graduating in a couple of weeks. This program should graduate. I should probably be moving on to something new. But anyway, Apple is asking their customers. They're engaging them. They like the word engage. It's a good word, isn't it? It's like a $6 word. Engaging their customers for suggestions, Heidi, for apps for their Apple Watch.
Okay.
I have a suggestion. I would like to be engaged to give them this suggestion. Get an idea for an app. I think this is the perfect app for the Apple Watch. It should be a thing that ticks like an old-fashioned watch, and it should tell you the time. That would be the coolest app for an Apple Watch. Don't you think?
I'm sure it does that.
And you can look at it and see what time it is. There you go. I don't have the Apple Watch, but I think that's what they need on there. You're not amused.
Not even a little. I'm
All right.
kind of hoping you quit putting yourself through this painful transition and we move on.
I think it's time. All right. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday. You're listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program brought to you by BillionAuto.com. If you're looking to buy a car, they have a bunch of them. Maybe a billion. No guarantees on that. But I will guarantee you'll find a lot of cars at BillionAuto.com.
Residents of San Francisco are complaining about a foul odor in their city, Heidi. Something's running amok in San Francisco. What are you smiling for?
Nothing.
What did you
I
think
was
it
going to say something very mean,
What
and
were you
I
gonna say?
decided against it.
No, say it. I'll bleep you if I have to.
No, it's not. It's not naughty. It's just not very nice.
Okay. Well, there's a foul odor in San Francisco, and they're not exactly sure what it is. This just in: residents of New Jersey booking vacations to get to San Francisco, where it smells better than New Jersey. So they're by the ocean, so it could be anything, stuff floating ashore. Have you ever been to San Francisco?
I've not. I have no desire at all. None.
I
Zero.
went there, and I saw, what is the thing called out in the water? Alcatraz. I drew a picture of that. We were at this beautiful...
That would be cool to see, Alcatraz.
Well, I didn't see it go out to it.
You didn't go out to it?
No, I looked at it through the binoculars.
I don't think they even do that anymore, do they? Do they do the tours of Alcatraz
I have no idea.
anymore?
But I can tell you, I grew up in Huron, South Dakota, and I was there in 1994. We were nominated for the All-America City, and I was chosen as one of the people to go and represent our community. We did not win. Maybe they shouldn't have chosen me to go. So but when we were there, it was really fun. We got to go, be a part of this thing, and then you get to check out the town and stuff. And there's two things that I remember. One was this dinner that we had where we were overlooking the Fisherman's Wharf or whatever it's called, where you can look out and see Alcatraz. And they had a tablecloth, a white tablecloth that was made of paper, and you could draw on it. So I drew a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz. I sketched that. And Fran Hendricks from Huron said, can I have that? And I said, sure, you can have that. And she has that framed at her house. Because I saw her 3 years ago at the fair. I went to the state fair, and she said, I still have that. It's hanging on my wall. It's framed. I was like, wow, that's cool. It's going to be worth something someday. I mean, for firewood or something. So, I'm just kidding. And then the other thing I remember was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. I was young, and I thought, I wore ties at work, and I was like, I'm going to get a tie. So I bought this tie. I thought it was a cool tie. It was a tie that had printed money on it, looked realistic, $100 bills, right. $50 bills. I think I gave it to Troy. Anyway, they give this thing to me in a white plastic bag.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm walking along with a white plastic bag that looked like it was full of money. So I'm walking along just smiling, and people keep looking at me as I'm walking by, and one of the guys from our group said, what are you doing? It's like, what do you mean? He goes, why do you have all that money in that bag? I was like, well, it's a tie. So I hid it quickly so I wouldn't get thumped on the head and somebody steal my tie. So anyway, if you go to San Francisco, just make sure you know that there is an odor in the air this time of year for some reason. We don't know why. They're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about next, but we'll do that in a moment. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club.
I use their razors, and I absolutely love them. And if you would like to try some razors and get a little special discount and get me a little extra credit, check out dollarshaveclub.com/BigJohnSmall. I love their razors. I use them all the time.
I've tried to use them. He won't let me touch them.
Yeah, leave my razors alone. Get your own razors. They're dirt cheap. Go check them out. dollarshaveclub.com/BigJohnSmall, and you're going to absolutely love them.
Again, this portion of the program brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club.
Almost time to say goodbye, Heidi. But before we go, let's head to California, because, that's always a good way to end the stories here. Police say a would-be burglar got sidetracked by snacks and a comfy place to snooze. Yeah. Heating up some tater tots, took a little nap on the sofa in the house that he broke into. Well, that was a good idea until the homeowner found the man asleep on her sofa. Officers responded. They used a stun gun on the intruder to wake him up.
Whoa, that would wake you up.
Well, he was trying to flee. When they got there, he woke up and he tried to flee, so they stunned him. So that was not the wake-up call, but that's what they should have done to wake him up. She called and said, there's some guy sleeping on my sofa. I don't know who he is. I smell tater tots. He looks cozy. Can you please come over here and zap him with a stun gun? That's probably not how the call went. But when they got there, something that they had done woke him up, and he tried to flee, so they stunned him with a stun gun. And it's one heck of a wake-up call.
At least he got that gun and not a different one. He's actually very lucky.
There was a story in the news where an officer was trying to use his taser, and he killed a man. He pulled the wrong, because they have a holster for the gun and a holster for the taser.
Yeah.
And he pulled the wrong gun and shot him. It was in the news.
I could see that. You're in a stressful situation. And
split-second decision. It would be tough. So they're trying to decide if they're going to crack down and like charge the man or what. I would not want to be in the situation, period. That would stink. Would absolutely stink. And the guy was...
If it was
it was bad. Anyway, back to this. They say that he woke up when they showed up there. Mm-hmm. This is the second story today about somebody falling asleep. We talked an hour ago about a guy at a gas station falling asleep and a thief stealing $2,500 worth of ice cream. It took him 15 minutes to slide the whole cooler outside. And this guy fell asleep on the job, and it's not really a job. He's a crook. So people, I think we need to get more sleep. We should all go to bed. Let's go to bed an hour earlier tonight. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds awesome to me.
I wouldn't mind doing it. I went to bed late last night, and I'm tired.
That was your own choice.
I know. I was watching Shark Tank and Profit. I love those shows.
I went to bed.
I know you did, but I got all caught up. I had like a couple weeks of Shark Tank all recorded. Nobody ever wants to watch it with me. So
no, it's not my favorite.
I love it though. It's a great
show. I mean, you love it.
Here's the thing:
it's just not my thing.
They've got a new
for that reason I'm
twist
out.
To the Shark Tank coming up. For that reason, you're out. I see what you did there. They got a new twist coming this week. I'm not sure what it is, but they were just saying the new format or the new something. I don't know. I'm excited, so I'll be tuning in Friday. And then here's the really cool thing I'm so excited about. Beyond the Tank. It's the Shark Tank, like all the people have been on there. Not all of them, but they're choosing some to follow up what happened after the tank. And who would you say is your favorite shark? If there was only one, if you could only go on, you can only work with one. Do you have one that you would say that's my favorite?
Mr. Wonderful.
Really?
I love Mr. Wonderful.
I think Robert Herjavec is the coolest guy.
Oh, he's a very nice guy, but my favorite because of his attitude and he's feisty and he's funny. I like Mr. Wonderful.
I don't understand that. Nobody ever wants to. It's like if people, they're like, anybody want to give me a deal? And everybody's out but Robert, or everybody's out but Kevin, Mr. Wonderful. Like, anybody else want to come back in? I don't want to work with him. So.
He and I would have so much fun together.
Oh, I can only imagine. All right. We are not being paid to promote this, by the way. As a matter of fact, the local ABC affiliate would probably prefer we don't talk about it. I don't know what the deal is. They don't like us. I don't know why. We tried.
Oh, well.
Because they got the Goldbergs, too. I love that show, too. I'm like, man, we could make music together. We could make magic. Let's work together. And they won't call me back. I'm like, yeah, go away, John. Leave us alone. We got a TV station to run. Quit coming to our front yard with your boombox, playing it in our windows. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We just changed the name of the program today, and I keep forgetting that.
He's having a hard time
Thanks
with
for
it.
listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.